Okay.
Show 77.
Here you go, princess. I mean, really, it's you and them. It is really. Hello,
Hi,
kids.
America. Welcome to Angel and the Wiz.
That's me too. I agree with that. And I want you to know that I have been looking in the mirror and I have noticed this slight growth. Okay, here in the belly area. So we're going to watch over the next few weeks if I can bring that down a little bit. I think it's too much toast, actually.
Carbs will get you, man. Those carbs.
Yes.
And you know, carbs are in everything. You can't, you know, the heavily carb foods, breads, cakes,
Breads, yeah.
anything bread, and then beer. Don't drink
Well,
beer.
I don't drink beer. I'm not a beer drinker. I was never a beer
No
drinker.
beer.
No.
I had a friend who couldn't drink beer for a year.
Really?
Man, he was miserable.
Well, I just know
He
that.
lost like 25 pounds in 2
Oh,
months
really?
or something.
Hey, if I could just lose.
But I was like, he
If
was
I-
miserable.
If I could lose 5 or 10 pounds, I'd be very happy. So I'm going to start to work on that.
Okay.
So we'll see. So America, hopefully you'll be able to see some change.
You seem kind of down today.
Oh, I'll tell you about it in a second.
Okay.
Okay, first things first. This is part 5 of the Crocked Cook, the Julia Tensil satire. This is about smaller portions this week. And something neat happened. This is the latest Angel and the Wiz production. This is for yours.
This is mine?
Yes. This is called Playhouse 19
Oh,
Live.
check you out.
Okay, and this is a concert, and it's over 2006, 2007, 2008. And it's what it is. It's a man and his music, and it's the songs that we play here on the show sometimes, with the introductions to the songs, explaining why the song was written, what it was written about, how it happened, la-di-da.
That's really cool.
So that's yours. They've seen it on TV. Anybody that wants one can write to us. We'd be happy to mail it to you free of charge. Doesn't cost anything. And
We aim to please our fans.
yeah, so that's how you won't listen to it. Oh, it's a DVD. You can't listen to it in the car. You have to actually watch it. I know you won't, but I wanted to give it to you anyway. No, you know what happened to me today?
What happened to
I was
you?
sitting around the house today. Oh yeah, I had my colonoscopy this week, and for those of you that really care, I can't imagine there are many, but it was clean and good, and they said I don't have to come back for a year or two, which I'm very happy about.
Yay!
Yes, because considering that thing that I had removed started as a polyp, so I was really scared they were going to go in and find some polyps there, so it could be clean and green, but no. So I'm sitting at home watching TV today, and I watched a movie with Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton called Something's Gotta Give. And then I watched a movie with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan called Sleepless in Seattle. They're love stories.
Why were you watching love stories?
Because I was in that kind of mood.
Okay.
And, they were sweet. And,
Not all lovey-dovey.
yeah, I liked
Hopeless romantic.
I am a hopeless romantic. I'm a songwriter. What can you expect from me?
Does that mean we're not going to have any Republican rants today?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Because I'm getting really sick of Obama and his lies and all those people that go out and lie and everything else. And they get away with it because the media backs them. The media never calls them on anything. And then this week, this is a couple of weeks back, this week, they caught the reporters coordinating. And they said no matter who asks them the question, and this is what they're doing amongst themselves, no matter who he calls on, this is the question we're going to ask. What the hell is that? That never happens to Obama. He just turns and walks away. So, and all this stuff that's happening in the Middle East, he helped bring on by getting rid of Mubarak and Muammar Gaddafi. Maybe not people that we like, but you notice there was no riots when they were in trouble.
He didn't get rid of them.
He got rid of them. He helped them. He
them?
helped get rid of them.
How did he do that?
Because they were our allies when they came to us for help. Not allies, but they were people that we had been working with.
How did he get rid of them?
Because he didn't help them when they came for help. Do you know Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, called to say he needed to... Listen, he's in an area where Iran wants to kill them all. Okay? The Iranians hate the Israelites, okay? They hate the Jews. One of their professed charters is we're going to wipe the Jews off the face of the earth. So they're in a really dangerous position. They're trying to build an atomic bomb. Israel is our ally, okay? Somebody we have relationships with. We've always had relationships. So Benjamin Netanyahu is their prime minister. He called Obama this week and asked for a meeting, and Obama told him he couldn't make it because he's campaigning and he's appearing on the Jay Leno show. Now, what the hell is that? You know something? This guy doesn't do his job. He doesn't do his job. He's not going to be missed. He's not going to be missed at all. I don't know what you think, but you're telling me.
I'm going to tell you. I think that the Republican Party labeled Obama as a failure the day he was elected.
He was a failure the day he was elected. He had no experience. He had no
Wait,
idea what he was doing.
No, the Republican Party never gave him a chance.
He ignored them for 2 years. You know why? Because he had a Democratic Senate and a Democratic House, and he didn't need anybody.
Bush did that too for
No,
2 years,
you are missing the point. The point is
wait,
Obama.
Wait! I'm missing the point. You said that Obama ignored the Republicans
completely
for 2 years.
ignored them for 2 years.
For 2 years.
Because he didn't need them.
We had
didn't even
Democrats.
talk to them.
Okay, and Bush did the same thing for
Bush
2
had
years.
a war. Bush was fighting a war when he came into office. A war.
And what do you think Obama's been fighting?
He hasn't been fighting anything.
He doesn't had to fix the mess that took George
please,
Bush
I'm so sick and tired.
8 years
Do you want to
to
know
make.
something? The economy was already starting to recover when this clown came into office.
How was it already starting to recover?
Take a look at the facts.
Unemployment was increasing.
It was lower than it is today. It was lower than it was from the time he took office. It was already lower. Okay? And if you want to take the time, you always hit me with this, if you want to take the time to look at the facts, you'll see that the recovery was already starting to begin before this guy came. He didn't need this stimulus and all this other garbage, but we won't go there. We'll just let that go. But I am telling you, this guy has been a disaster from day one. And it's a sad thing, but it's still true. He had no background. He had no experience. What he has done to our allies and our enemies around the world, he has absolutely alienated all of our friends and made friends with the Muslims. He was the one that told us this was going to be democracy rising. Have you watched the news? Doesn't look like democracy to me. It looks like fires and guns and bombs and stuff like that.
Wait. Democracy rising for what?
In the Middle East. He said what he did was going to create democracy in the Middle East, and he supported those people going out there. Now listen.
Going out there and doing what?
Overthrowing the governments that existed.
Okay.
Okay, you overthrew them.
Let them do that.
Well, no, because we don't have now.
No.
We have.
Wait.
No, and you know why? No.
So you guys, as Republicans, want us to interfere with every government agency in the world?
It was all no. He interfered. He interfered in Libya. He interfered in Egypt.
How
and he
did
interfered.
He interfere? What the
by
hell
helping the people that were overthrowing the government. You didn't have riots in these countries before. You only had riots in these countries.
And you think that he snapped his fingers and they
he helped them.
How did they help him?
They gave him armaments. They gave him weapons. They helped them overthrow the government. He helped them take the people that were in power out of power by supporting them in their efforts, not supporting the people we had supported. And now what do we have? We have the Muslim Brotherhood, who is absolutely dedicated to the death of Israel and America. And now they're in charge. Wow, that was a smart move. That was a smart move. And it's at his feet.
Have you talked to somebody who survived that?
Princess, I watch the news every single day.
You watch what news?
I watch the news.
You watch Fox News.
Yeah, that's right. I watch Fox News.
Your Fox News is as biased as the rest of the media.
No.
Liberal media.
No. That's what you would know. It's not. That's what they like to say. They like to say everybody does it.
You know
when they caught Bill Clinton getting serviced in the White House, all they could say was it's about sex and everybody does it. Well, everybody doesn't do it. Okay? And the things that the Democrats... Listen, the Republicans weren't running around calling the Democrats Nazis. But the Democrats do that. And they don't get called on it by anybody because the media works for the Democratic National Committee. And it's a sad, sad thing. And I'm telling you, you have no idea...
Do you agree with Rush Limbaugh's comments about Obama owning the National Weather Center and forcing the cancellation of the first day of the Republican National Convention?
You have to keep something in mind, please.
I want to know how.
I will answer your question if you let me know.
How crazy you have gone if you think that that's true. You live in a state that gets these things. So think very carefully about what you say.
Do you listen to Rush? Do you listen to Rush?
I actually listened to that clip and read a transcript of it.
Okay, that's fine.
And as much as he said, I'm not saying it was very insinuating.
You're right. But you're missing the point. Rush uses satire to highlight his points. He says the ridiculous to point out the obvious. When he says something like that, nobody thinks that they are manipulating the weather to do that. He is making a joke. I listen to the guy. I know his story. I know how he does his humor. I know how he plays his things. He does a lot of things that are satire. satire. And the media puts them out as fact because they want to attack him, because they can't deal with him any other way. Listen, I'll tell you what, you start noticing this, or start looking, because I know you're smart enough to see it. The Democrats can't beat us on ideas. All they can do is yell louder and attack character of other people. Everybody's got to be bad because they got nothing good to sell the American people. They haven't talked. All they do is attack Romney, attack Romney, attack Romney, attack. Let me tell you something. I found out things about Mitt Romney just recently.
Okay.
Let me just finish. I'll stop. Remember, you brought this up. I was talking about the love stories and stuff. Okay? There was a show on Friday night that showed the real character of this man, Mitt Romney. And I have to tell you, things I never knew, things nobody really knew, because he's kept them all quiet and anonymous. This is a very good and decent man. And he has been constantly attacked by Obama because Obama can't run on his record. He's got high unemployment. He's a disastrous economy. And if I might say on Obama's behalf, it's not surprising because he had no experience. He never had to do any of these things. He never worked in the private sector. He never had to make a paycheck. He never had to build anything. So but what I'm trying to say is, I'm giving him the credit. I'm not blaming him. I'm not judging him. He came out of a situation that he was totally unprepared for, and I think personally, he was just used as a front man for the people that are behind him. I mean, he might have gone along willingly, but he doesn't even take national security briefings. I mean, he does. They knew about this attack that was coming 2 days ahead of time, and they did nothing. Listen, everybody in the world knows 9/11 is a touchy topic. It's a touchy topic, especially in the Middle East, because the Arabs hate us. They don't hate us. They hate the way we live. They hate that we give women freedom. Women are not free in Arabia. They can't drive. They can't vote. They got to cover. Okay, they live a horrible, horrible life. Well, so they hate everything we stand for because we let women do what they want.
Do you think that all of these attacks on the embassies are because of this one video that's out there?
It has nothing to do with the video. The video was out since June. Why do they care about it today? That's all hogwash. Okay. This happened on 9/11. The reason it happened on 9/11 was because we had just killed one of the Al Qaeda's number 2 in command. And this guy told his people to go out and do this. And our embassy knew it. And they did nothing about it. And the point that I'm trying to make, 9/11. We already know we got to be on our guard on 9/11 because they're going to do something on 9/11 if they can. And I'll tell you, the whole time Bush was president, on 9/11, he sent word out to the embassies to button up and to crack, to take care of all that stuff. This guy didn't take any briefings that week. He didn't talk to anybody. They knew that they were that there was a protest coming and how easily a protest can spin out of control in that environment. They did nothing. Those people died because Obama was skating. You can get it any place. Listen, let me tell you something. You can even go to NBC and CBS and ABC and CNN and all these other places. They package the news to cover for Obama. But if you listen to what the facts still are, they're still bottom facts. The bottom facts are the same. The problem is with the media and you want to keep something else in mind. You're a little bit younger than me. Okay, God bless you. Okay, but us much prettier. But we people that are older have seen this before. Mm-hmm. We know how it's done. Let me just finish. Okay. We know that to do certain things, you have to have certain assistance. So why do you think they're having so much? Why do you think they're going after the young people? Because the young people do not have the experience or the education to know what's being done to them. They're just following along because he would never lie to us. Yes, he would lie to you, and he would use the networks and the journalists and the media to support those lies because that's what bad people do. Okay, that's what the Nazis did. Okay, it's what the Russians did with their propaganda. It's what our CIA did in countries when they were trying to overthrow a dictator, okay? And it's what our own agencies did when they killed John Kennedy. They killed John Kennedy. Listen, the key to the Kennedy assassination was this. You can't kill the President of the United States unless you can control the investigation. That's a fact. You can't do it. If you can't control the investigation, you can't do it. You're going to get caught. Because if these people are actually really looking for you, the FBI can find somebody who stole a loaf of bread. Okay? So if you start from that premise, which is realistic, then you can build your hypothesis for them, and then you start to see, and then you see the lies. I did a show one time. I used to get really scared too. I did a show one time, and I put out a report. I should give you a copy of it, the Wizard Commission report. It's exactly what happened. Okay, but
Exactly what happened for what?
To the death of John Kennedy.
Okay.
John Kennedy was murdered in Dallas. He wasn't. He was killed, and he was killed by the same government that he was working for. But let's not brand everybody. Let's brand enough people to get the job done. You only need key people in certain areas, because if the head of the FBI disrupts their investigations, doesn't let one agent follow the string all the way through, well, then you don't have to worry about him finding anything because it'll be disrupted. Okay, so you only, if you have certain points covered, you're okay. I did a show, and on one of the shows, I showed at one time. Have you heard of the Zapruder film? Years ago, when John Kennedy was shot, Abraham Zapruder was a gentleman who was standing in position to videotape the whole murder. Now, I have problems with that. He just happened to be there. Okay,
Right.
no, we won't go there. Okay, well, but the fact of the matter is,
He happened to be there, and he was the only one that didn't have his camera confiscated.
yeah, and got the whole thing. And Life came and bought it from him and locked it up. Okay, so the only people that really had access to it for a very long time was Life magazine, which is Time Life, was the publishers. Okay, well, when they printed the pictures, they didn't print them honestly. They flipped them around. They said this was the secret, but they felt really safe, see, because they had the only copy. Okay, so they could say this was the final shot, and stuff like that. But eventually, that film got stolen, okay, and leaked out. So actually, they came to me. I was the first person, I think, in New York to ever show it on television, and you could see something that you could never see before, and that was that Life lie. Okay, and the problem became, well, seeing as they had the film, and seeing as they mislabeled it, we either have to believe that they're incredibly inept, or they did it on purpose. And if they did it then we don't think they're inept. They had the film. Okay, so that means that they did it on purpose. Well, why did they do it on purpose? Well, you could say because if that was the last shot, you could say it came from the back. But if it wasn't the last shot, that means it came from the front. That killed him. And if you have a guy in the front and somebody shooting from the back, you have a problem, see, because that's called a conspiracy. That's more than one person. And they sold, you see, the funny thing about it was, when they planned the murder of John Kennedy, they always planned to blame it. They would have a patsy, a sponsor, let's call them. And all the evidence is produced ahead of time so that it can be handed out as needed, Okay, and the evidence was for somebody who was a rogue, staunch communist who supported Cuba and Fidel Castro and all that stuff, who was proud of what he did. He had pictures of him with the gun and the paper and all that stuff. Okay, well, when they caught Oswald was supposed to die. They were supposed to bring him in dead because they understood the law. What does the law say? The law says A kills B, A gets killed by the police, case closed. That was the scenario that they had planned. But they didn't kill him. Oswald came out of the theater, and what was the first thing he said? He said, I didn't do this. I'm not resisting arrest, you know what I mean? And he talked about being a patsy. And he talked about how the pictures were forged and all that stuff. Whoa. So he never got out. They shot him right in the Dallas jail. So what happens is, when you start putting all these things together, you start to see what you're up against. And so this is, what is going on around Obama is nothing new.
Okay.
The only thing that's new about it is they've got not just CBS. See, and when they killed John Kennedy, they only had Time, Life, and CBS. Now they got them all. They got CBS, they got NBC, they got CNN, they got all of those journalists, they got all of those cats lined up. And their hope, that's why we got Obama, because they didn't question him when he was running in 2008. They didn't point out all of these things that they knew, because the word was out. This guy's going in. And what they have done to the country, when you actually get a chance, you're going to outlive me. Okay? The time is going to come where you're going to get this.
I don't know. I've been like.
You're having a tough week, right?
I'm having a tough couple weeks. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
It might.
But we should talk about that next week, because I talked all this week. But anyway, so you're going to get a chance someday to see that all this stuff I'm telling you is true. unless Obama gets reelected. If he gets reelected, the America that you live in today will no longer exist in 4 years. It will be gone. And it's a sad, sad thing, because it'll limit everything that we can do. Because you see, the only reason America's great is because America believes in the individual. America believes in turning the individual's mind free to go do what he can do and accomplish what he can accomplish. And because we've turned in other words, we govern from the ground up. The people lead the way. We don't tell the people, kings, royalties, and all that stuff. No, hey, just let me finish. This is really important. Okay, it's important for the kids to get it home too. If you got people up here limiting this down here, you don't get the benefit of those minds. Those minds are crippled and held back and suppressed because they can only go so far. In America, it goes this way. Now, just believe me, it's already been hindered a lot. But and he's put like
How
9.
have you been hindered? How has his presidency affected you personally in the last 4 years that has made your life more difficult? Tell me.
Well, right now I'm paying $3.59 for gas that I shouldn't have to pay for. I was paying $1.85 when he came in. He's doubled the price of gas. Why? Because he hasn't allowed drilling on federal land. Because he's used the EPA as a weapon.
So,
that's
gas?
the Environment Protection. Yeah,
Gas.
and
Give me
he's
another reason.
well. Everything has gone up in price. You see, because what happens is everything moves on gas, including your electricity in your home. So you're paying more for electricity, you're paying more for food, you're paying more for gas, you're paying for anything that's transported costs more. So all of that, so it's affected me financially, directly. Okay? He's passed laws that now I'm not buying a home or anything like that. But
So
that becomes
doesn't
harder.
affect you.
That
Okay.
doesn't affect me
That doesn't. I
directly.
asked you personally. So
Right.
the gas.
The gas and everything associated
Okay,
with it.
What else?
Well, I love my country, and my country's being attacked from within, and that's a sad thing. You know what he's done?
What?
He's limited the news that I can watch because the people that are out there covering him are a part of his cabal. I mean, I can't even watch the news. Okay, we have a minute and 22 seconds. Okay, listen. This will be continued forever until November. No, I'm just saying. We'll probably touch back on this, And next week we'll hear about Tinkerbell's operations, etc. But I have to tell you right now, we're preparing for
Julia Tensil.
Right, part 5 of the Crocked Cook, and in a couple of weeks we'll start showing you some of the cuts from the concert video. Okay, so. Okay, we have like about a minute, so we're okay. So, but anyway, I didn't mean to. I really had no intentions of getting on any of this stuff, but it's the point that I was trying to make is that by letting man go to his own level, everybody benefits. People cry about the space program, but let me tell you something. Without the space program, they'd be cooking their meals. They wouldn't be microwaving them. There's so many things that come that are maybe unintended consequences. But when you have a challenge, like space, you got to do a lot of things to get there, and the people benefit from some of those things.
Do something good every day and volunteer at your local animal shelter.
That's right, and we're going to see you. And here is the Crocked Cook. Oh, smaller portion.
Smaller portions in case they don't, I don't know what. In case you want small portions, of course. You want small portions, god damn it, you can make small portions. Now I can do it, is cut them up. Like this. Smaller portions. What you're going to do is cut them up, like I said. I said that, didn't I? Cut them up. Well, I've cut them up. Let's cut some more up. Goddamn things. Well, I don't think you can really to cut this up. Sometimes it happens your buns get a little overcooked. What I like to do is I like to break them up into smaller portions. How I do that, you move the sherry, goddammit. What you do with these smaller portions, how you get them is to smash them into smaller portions. I love smashing. I like smaller portions. Or we'll just serve this one. I think we fucked up the other one. It's alright though. It's alright! I'm going to get the milk. You can't have buns without milk. Buns without milk is like a day without sunshine. Here it is, the milk. Need a glass? Unless, of course, you like drinking out of your hand. It's not good for company, though. It's really a fucking mess around here. Clean kitchen is very important. Show the glass and the plate, please. And the milk. All right, we've got our smaller portions. I'm going to serve them with milk. I always serve milk because it's good for you. You want to know, right? God, it's a hard show. There's the milk, and there's the buns. Can you ask for a nicer treat on a fine day? I couldn't, except for a little sherry. I could use a little sherry. I think I'm getting stoned. It's all right though. And the Crocked Cook. This is a frying pan. What does this mean? Oh, this is a frying pan. The frying pan. Oh yes. Our food's in the oven. I'm going to get it right now. Here it is. You should use a pot holder, but I have an iron hand, so we don't use a pot holder for me. Looks wonderful! Looks wonderful! This is a frying pan. This is a frying... Come on, guys. Come on. I've been on for a long time. Get the pot. This is... Notice the consistency of my fine... Blue la basil la parisienne. Oh yes, will you hold it next to your heart? Tilted. Right. Notice the fine consistency. I was noticing the fine consistency the other day. It's wonderful. Came out much better than I thought. What are you saying?
Leave it for the dogs.